In previous reflections, I've shared about my childhood wounds and adolescent attempts to cope with them through unhealthy medicating, but what I haven't shared is that I became addicted in my 20s. Being single, there was no one to hide it from, so it grew. I knew I shouldn't have been doing what I was, but the pain was so great I couldn't imagine living otherwise. When Yolanda and I decided to get married, I naively thought that it would relieve my pain, heal my wounds, and my medicating would stop. But of course, it didn't. She discovered my addiction in the second year of our marriage and wanted me to go to a 12-step group and get counseling. I did, and while I found both beneficial and worked at them conscientiously, neither were enough to bring me the healing I sought. Out of tremendous shame though, I pretended it was, and she believed me, but my addiction just became more secretive. Ultimately, I was no longer able to continue lying about it, because its effects on my life, her life, our relationship, family, and friendships, were too obvious to ignore. I went back to a 12-step program in counseling to please her, but I really didn't think it would help much. I knew I needed more. I was desperate, not wanting to lose my marriage and family. Simultaneously, the desire to go to daily mass and regular confession grew, and I started going. At first, I didn't feel any different, but over time, I noticed that the pain wasn't as bad. Were my wounds really being healed by the forgiveness of my sins and the Eucharist? I knew that's what the church claimed, but I had never put enough faith in them. I eventually started going to spiritual direction to ensure I stayed on the right track. While 12-step programs and counseling helped, only the sacraments brought healing. During each confession and communion, God chipped away a small piece of the stone I had built up, and revealed His image in me. If I only knew then what I know now, so much pain and hurt would have been avoided.